Good morning, Academy 55, premium members, and everybody else who's watching. This time, the YouTube channel. I'm coming. Hang on. This is. Please bear with me. This time, the YouTube. That's it. I've muted myself on the YouTube. Um, First time I've done the YouTube channel as well. Please bear in mind, anybody who's watching me on YouTube, there is a 10-second plus delay on what is actually happening. All the premium members get to see this live. So if you want to be a Academy 55 member, please look in comments below this video. You're most welcome to watch. Of course, that's what we're here for. So yeah, David Kahn here on Tuesday, the 3rd of June, 2025. It's now 3 minutes to 8 in the morning here in the UK, looking at the EUR USD on the 1 minute time frame. Following our Academy 55 indicators and strategy. I do lives mostly this time of the day because this is the time of the day when the EUR USD can start trending as opposed to going sideways. But because that's what we're seeing now, sideways. Once London kicks in, we still might get sideways, or we might get a trend one way or the other. We don't know yet. We trade what we see, not what we think. And as you guys all know, all the members know, we have sell zone and a buy zone for extra confirmation. What we do is we wait for the price to get into the sell or the buy zones on the 5 minute time frame. Then we know to take the next sell or buy on the 1 minute time frame. We're scalping on the 1 minute time frame predominantly. So, but what we're going to do now, we're going to take the indicators off because I like to have a look at the bigger picture. And that's what we'll do now. Let's just go and see if I can see myself. Yeah, there we go. I'm still coming live on YouTube, which is nice. Anyway, so what we'll do first off, we'll go to the daily. And what we'll do is we'll get rid of all those lines, I think, that were drawn up last week. So remove drawings. Yeah, remove all the drawings. That's fine. And look on the daily time frame. And what we can see on the daily time frame, we've started going into a long sideways motion ever since here, 14th of April. So at least the last 2 weeks, we've been going sideways a bit in consolidation. We can't see any imbalance until we get down here, too far away to even mark up really. Is it going higher? Well, let's put it on even on the weekly now. And we have obviously a lot of ideas to go higher. And we've got imbalance on the weekly up here. Now, is price going towards these areas up here? It's far too far away for us to even contemplate really, because we're scalping on the 1 minute. I just want to like to get a general idea of what's going on as far as price is concerned. So we'll go right down to the 4 hourly now. Open up the make it a little bit larger, and we can see a big swathe of imbalance here. So I'll mark that up, I think, from on this candle here, from there to there. There's a big swathe of imbalance. Get the right conditions. We call it a buy FVG. FVG standing for fair value gap. Same thing as imbalance. So we'll put that down there. Will price will tap into that eventually. We don't know when. Now, is there a tiny bit of imbalance here as well? I believe there is actually. Yep. So again, we mark that up. So from the top of there to there, that indeed is imbalance. That needs to be tapped into to equalize the market. So again, that get the right conditions. That's a sell FVG, fair value gap, because there's been all selling power on that candle there, no buying power whatsoever. So that's what that looks like. So now we will change to line candles to see if there's any prominent near points. And there isn't really, not in the way of where price is now. So we'll go down to the 1 hour. And here we can see the imbalanced areas that need to be tapped into. And just here, we have if I get my horizontal ray, we've got 2 points of interest. Oh, sorry, I've got the wrong line. I want a horizontal line, not a ray. Horizontal line. So if we go there, this is obviously a 1 touch there, 2 touch there. Anything with 2 or more touches, that's why I mark it up. And as you can see, price is coming down to there quite dramatically now. So we go back onto candles. We put our 5-minute time frame on. And as you can see, we now have our buy zone here. So now I'll put the horizontal ray on the buy zone. So for extra confirmation, I'm looking for price to get into here. Then we know to take the next buy. And similarly, I will mark this up the sell zone here. So that's all the areas of interest. So we'll put it back down on the minute, and then we got all the information that we need, points of interest, etc. Put the indicators back on. But right here, we have consolidation. So really, consolidation happens 80% of the time. So we wouldn't be too surprised about that. But this area here is all consolidation. Settings, consolidation. So we shouldn't be too surprised about that. But the lines, we've now broken out of consolidation. $5.8. We've now broken out of consolidation. I've got a big stop loss here. This is where the stop loss would be, where the wave changed from green to red. But now we can see it's the buyers are coming back in again on the 1-minute time frame. This is for all the members. Make sure we use the trade assistant, which operates the calculator for it automatically. So make sure your risk reward is in purple, your lot calc is in purple. You've got that all important 1%. and I've locked my stop loss in. So now I'm on a sell again, but as you can see, it's buying. So it's crazy to take the sell when we're on the buy. I haven't got the confirmation of price going into the buy or sell zone on the 5 minute. So therefore, this trade is like a 65 to 70% win rate. Whereas if I have the confirmation of price on the 5 minute going into the sell zone and the buy zone and taking the next sell or buy, etc., I would have a 75% win rate. So I've got a little bit less percentage wise of a win rate. And again, is this more consolidation that we can see here? So rather than getting ready to take a sell, I would want to see price get beyond there again to give me extra confirmation. And that will be quite a big stop loss. So I am thinking a bit wary about taking this as a trade for it to sell, even though we got the sell alert, because we are in consolidation. Now, the thing about a County 55 strategy is that I only need 10% win rate per month. So we always say just one trade, possibly two trades a day, no more than that, because it's all to do with your mindset as well. I.e., subconsciously you could be changing conditions where we see red, red, red for a sell, green, green, green for a buy. But I mean, consolidation at the moment is fairly clear to see. But if we carry on down, I can see really it's difficult because I'm really wanting to see the confirmations of price getting into the zones. And I'm quite prepared personally to let this one play this one out on paper trade if it does sell a little bit deeper. Because we have what happens 80% of the time sideways movement. The powers that be are waiting for news or what's going to happen with the dollar, perhaps, or the euro, and then they're going to react off that news, possibly. And all the time they are picking up buy and sell orders. That's why it's going sideways. And it could go one way or the other. Because this line here is our purple 462 Fibonacci area, where price likes to hog. This is 462 of these 1 minute candles. It's a Fibonacci number. So what looked like it could have been a sell indeed proved to be at this time more consolidation. So I'm back onto trading view now. Sometimes these training sessions that I do are more akin to why I wouldn't take a trade, and I make no apologies for that, because we got a very low monthly target to aim for, 10%. And I've been very successful over the last well, a year or so now, over a year now, February 2025. Sorry, February 2024, we started doing this. So very consistently winning month upon month. Not always 10%, sometimes even less than that. But when you got $100,000 um, broker account, as you can imagine, even if you only get 5%, that's the equivalent of $5,000, which by the time they take 80% out is about 4,200. Now, as you can see, I'm pretty glad I didn't react off that, because we would have lost that, because my stop loss would have been there. And we've gone over that now. But we're still in this consolidatory area. So last month, I got my 10% target pretty early. Well, not pretty early, but mid-month, around 21st, 22nd of May, I do believe. And all the other times I was trading for you after that were on demo. I treat demo and live exactly the same. But seeing all this, it just means a lot more waiting. This is our sell zone that I marked up earlier on. I keep checking back to the 5-minute time. See, look, the sell zone has moved down to here now. Look, so that's interesting. I'm glad I checked that. This is the new sell zone, which we've just touched. Basically, the price has been in the sell zone. So that gives me confirmation to react off that sell, the sell we've already got, because we've been in the sell zone. So I wouldn't be taking buys anyway. But as you can see, price is hogging the purple line, the EMA 462. That's there for a reason. See, when price is underneath that, there's a sell bias going on. When it's above it, obviously there's a buy bias, but price equalizes along this line. But now we've been in a sell zone here. And that indeed is the sell zone, and it's breached that. So I wouldn't want to be taking any buys, and I'll be reacting off that sell. If price comes down here, sweeps that power balance R up, if it does that, so it would look something like that at the moment, because that's where the stop loss would be, where anticipating the green wave change it to red again. But bearing in mind we are still going sideways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to the RMT4. So I'm in readiness for that. Because although we are in sideways movement, I've got the confirmation of price getting into the sell zone, the new sell zone that started up. So that gives me a little bit more of a probability change that we will go on a deeper sell. but I've got to wait for price to come down to here regardless to sweep that parabolic SAR from below price to above the price before I can get in when that may happen, if it happens. So I'm keeping it onto the MT4 at the minute, so as I can obviously get involved in a very timely, and keep it a minimum of 2 pips away, 2.2 actually, from the stop loss to entry. But we're still getting price going higher into what we know is the sell zone again. So even if a pop buy did, I wouldn't be interested in that. Although I can understand that it might happen because this is the time of the day when they decide what they want to do. But for me, it's too risky because we are in the sell zone after all. And did it want to tap into that imbalance and then react off that? In which case you wouldn't have got your 2% anyway. We only go after 2% profit because that's all we need. 2% a day is fine. But as you can see, we are deep in the sell zone now, picking up sell orders because that's mainly what a zone is, an order block. So I wouldn't want to be activating on the buy, this buy here, because one, we could still see more consolidation. Two, is it just tapping into there and coming back down again because collecting all these sell orders? And three, I only need one trade a day, so I'm looking for my best probabilities of a trade. I understand a bit of volume might come in and make this buy go even higher. That's fine. If it does that, that's fine. I'm not bothered with that. But I know it's a lot more riskier because I know there are sales it's picking up and it's tapping into this imbalance here. I'm looking for a sell, not a buy. And I'm not facing FOMO, fear of missing out. Not interested at all. So while we are waiting for things to sort of happen for us, right, no, I won't. I was going to play a little video, but I don't think I will because we've got a lot of picked up some sell orders, heading on back down again. So indeed, I'll just bide my time and wait for to see what happens with this. Nice to see our Academy 55 team members on this morning. Hope you had a good weekend. But sure, at the moment you'd be feeling quite glad that you didn't actually take this buy because of your knowledge although it still might happen, but that's okay because we know we're in a sell zone. Wouldn't be happy about taking a buy personally because I only need 1 or 2 trades a day for my 10% monthly target. So I'm looking for the best probabilities of a trade. I think please bear with me a minute. It's better. Right. So what I'll there we go. That's where I would be. I stopped. Oh, right, things are happening. Let's put it back onto MT4. Are we indeed going to be selling off now, or more of the same, more of the same sideways movement? Parallel SR now has flipped from below to above, so all we need now, because the way it works, we got buy alert, sell alert, buy alert. The next one must be a sell alert that we're going to wait for, and for all these conditions to turn red, the trend line to turn red, the wave to turn red, and the volume ribbon to turn red also. Bit nervy, well, not nervy, but yeah, nervy. It doesn't know what it wants to do. Let's see what we've got any clues. Euro's recent rise reflects dollar's vulnerability. Doesn't really tell us much, to be fair. Right, what we'll do. So I've got to keep it on this really because all of a sudden, because of the time of the day, we could break out of consolidation, and all of a sudden we could find ourselves in a trade while I'm merrily talking to you about something else, not paying attention and missing the move completely because it only takes one big fat whale to come in with more than 10 like $100 million, and that's a 10 pip move, $100 million, because it takes $10 million to move 1 pip. And $100 million in the scheme of things obviously sounds a great deal, but in the worldwide scheme of things, in a $6.2 trillion a day business, $100 million is, well, it sounds crazy to say, but is a drop in the ocean. So, right, so we are picking up sell orders, and it's forcing the price down. But we have to wait for the red wave, the red volume ribbon. Ah, we've got a sell alert, look. So I've got to wait for all these to turn red though. And that's where my stop loss will be, just above the purple line there, because that's where the wave is, and in anticipation of it all turning red. It's got quite a way to go yet. So I'm going to lock my stop loss in there, just above there, just in case we get volume coming, pushing price down to these areas down here. If it still goes sideways, so be it. No problem. We haven't lost any money. And indeed, I'm going to put it back to 2.2 pips away because we are going sideways again. But we know we're in a sell zone. So I wouldn't be activating off that or not off this buy, because will we get above here and turn around again? If we go back to the trading view, we could be just gradually eking out this imbalance that was drawn up on the 4 hourly, if you remember. And we know we're in a sell zone, so it's too risky a trade for me to want to take. Like, for example, if I activated off that buy, I would have been out because of that wick there. And now we're creating imbalances here as well. And again, it's formed an equal high there, there, and there. Is it going to go higher? It may well do. And if it does, it does. I mean, it's not, it'll do without my money. I'll just watch it. And now it's coming back down again. So, but it could be coming down to equalize this imbalance here and then still carry on up. And now prices at least got to get down to here to, and all the while we are seeing nothing positive happening, sideways movement. If you feel frustrated by that, price doesn't care. Just appreciate it for what it is. And know that the probabilities of a trade, unfortunately, is getting less and less because of this, the way we're in between. I'll go back onto the 5 minute, between these zones. And we're going sideways all the time. But the first rule of trading is don't lose money, your equity. Second rule is don't lose money, your equity. And we're not losing any money because we are being patient and waiting for the conditions to be right for us to be in a trade. It is what it is. Trade what you see, not what you think. And it's only the 3rd of June. Last month, sorry, I managed to do I'm going back to NT4 again. Last month, I managed to do my 10% target by the 21st of May, I do believe. Sometimes it's later, sometimes it's even earlier. It is what it is. But because we got a low monthly target, I can afford to take the best probability trades for me and the strategy and the system. Right, so if that sweeps down, all of a sudden things will change quite dramatically. If we get a big whale coming in with $100 million or whatever, takes price down here. Ah, right, we've got a sell alert now. So this is where the stop loss will be, there, just above the wave, because it's turning red. Just got to wait for the volume ribbon to turn red a bit. Sacrificing pips, but that's okay. I need that confirmation, you see. Now they're going to turn red any time now. Right, I'm in a trade now. I think I've got a big stop loss here. Let's see. Indeed, 6.5. Well, I say big, it's biggish. Right, let's transfer that over to Trading View. This indeed is where I got in here. Yeah, there. Which in turn brings my 2-to-1 way down. Well, that's quite good because we're just about in the buy zone. So if price gets down to these levels here, I could be thinking about putting my stop loss to my entry because that's quite a big volume, a lot of sell orders there that force that down. And when you get that, sometimes a big move like that, we could see price getting to this area here and beyond before reacting and going down there to the 50% of the fibs. It could go even higher though, up to 71.2. Could do. I'll remove that. So as not to make it look, oh, I've done the wrong one. So what, no problem. What I do is I undo and I take away the fibs. And this is where we are at the minute. Now I want to have a look at the bigger, slightly bigger picture. So I'll take the indicator or Academy 55 indicators off because I want to go on to the 5-minute time frame. And that's where we are on the 5. That's what it looks like on the 5-minute time frame. And let's even go on the 15-minute. And as we can see, we've got big imbalance there. Now, will price want to tap into this imbalance here? I hope, certainly hope so, because that means I've got my 2%. But it is what it is. So I've got a big swathe of imbalance down here, waiting to be tapped into. But recognizing we've also got imbalance here as well. So we're still, still in the balance really. But will it get down to these levels here? I certainly hope so. Put it back down to the minute. Put my indicators back on. Now, like I say, I've always said before, it is what it is. There it is on the MT4, my trade. At this juncture, all the regulars will know that I usually say, go away and make a cup of tea. You've made your decision. Accept a 1% loss if indeed that's what's going to happen. If price comes around and decides it wants to go back up again. Because you'll have one more opportunity to trade in a time that you find is the best probabilities for yourself today, or if we have the 2%, lovely jubbly. But what I'm trying to say is nothing you've made by looking at this, there is nothing you can do but alter your mind, play tricks with your mind, especially if you're new. And really, as a trader, you have to accept loss and accept loss just as much as you accept a win, really. Um, and accept it's price action. This is what happens. But we know we have a 75% win rate because we waited for price to get into the sell zone. But also, that means there's a 25% chance it'll lose. So you got to be respect that possibility. But it is what it is. And now there's definitely a downward bias going on because we're underneath the purple zone. There's a delay from YouTube. And the ability to talk to me personally. So what I'm going to do now is see, because I've got YouTube open now. So things don't happen instantaneously now because there's a lot going on my computer. So apologies for any delay, but there we go. I'll open the chat for our premium members. If you have any questions, please write them in chat and I will endeavor to answer them to the best of my ability. And also, if we have any members on my YouTube channel, I notice that you can actually chat on that and all. So I'll flip to that from time to time. But we'll just watch this do what it's going to do. In the meantime, though, yeah, of course. In the meantime, because it is what it is now, I'm going to play. Here we go. I'm going to play my business associate partner, Steve, who's going to give you some information.
Hi, this is Steve with a very short video to show you where to get the training for the indicators and tools we use inside Academy 55. So once you're logged into the members area, you'll see in the premium dashboard this section that's entitled Start Learning. And if you click here, that'll take you through to the learning library. Now, we'll say at this point, we highly recommend you watch each of these videos 2 or 3 times to get a full understanding of how everything works. Here you'll find tutorials on using the MT4 Trade Assistant and how to use the MT4 platform with the Trade Assistant. This is the longest video you'll find inside the platform. It's around 30 minutes long, well worth your time. Watch the video once, then maybe write a few questions down that you might have for yourself, and watch the video for a second time, and things will really start to make sense. By the time you watch it 3 times, you'll fully understand how everything works. So that's the longest video. It's about 30 minutes long, well worth your time. And then you can jump into individual trainings here for how to remove indicators. These videos are just a couple of minutes long. How to move MetaTrader around like you can in TradingView, Trading Assistant controls, how to do back testing in TradingView, how to draw vertical lines to mark out your hour, and so much more. And by the time you watch this video or see this video, there might be other trainings in this section. But everything here is well worth your time, and you find that, as I said a moment ago, from the main dashboard in the Start Learning section. Now, one more thing just to mention here. If you're looking for anything in particular, if you come down to the support FAQs, click on Get Support, and in this area, you'll find a detailed FAQ section, and you can come through here. For example, if you're looking for an answer to a question about MetaTrader, have a look through these, and once you click through, you'll find direct links to videos that give you answers to most of the questions that we get asked on a regular basis. So hopefully you found this useful, and back to your further training.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. Right, we've got another area of consolidation that we've picked up now, which is unfortunate, but that's the way it is. It is what it is. We haven't come down far enough to put our stop loss to our entry, really. And indeed, if we had done that, we would have been out by now. Price could very well be looking to sort that imbalance out. And indeed, unfortunately, it may decide to come up and possibly take some more sell orders. And if it does, it does. That's the way it is. In which case we will have a 1% loss, which is not a big deal, because as you can say, you can come back later on today. And even if you find in your life that you can't come back later on today, it's still not a big deal. Come back tomorrow, because we got a very low 10% target. Would you ever, Nikki is just texting me, would you ever ditch the trade if price started consolidating or looks like the trade won't work out, or do you always just leave the trade to run? Very good question, Nikki, because it's up to you. It's up to your, everybody's different. Everybody's different. All traders are different. So depending on your personal circumstances, whether you can prepare to let it run. Some trades I've let run for like an hour and 20 minutes. It took a long time. We've seen examples where the trade has been done within 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Only you can answer that. If you see it like this now and you are feeling nervy, I don't want you to feel nervy, but if you do, you might decide to abort the trade now, and you actually come away with a little bit of profit. It's very much up to yourself. Sorry, I can't help you that one too much because my caution and my sensibilities are different to yours. Everybody's different. At what point do you move to break even? Well, again, everybody's different. I would be thinking about that if price got down to this level here, because you've got to give it a bit of wriggle room. You could be doing that, but like I say, I'm quite happy with a 1% loss. If indeed it comes down here and turns back up again, because I've seen price go up to here and then come back down again. Because remember, stop loss is above the purple line, and price sometimes like to bounce and react off the purple line and come back down again. So therefore, if you move your stop loss to your entry, you would have been taken out for break even, and price could have gone there and reacted and then come back down again. Again, unfortunately, that's personal choice. But the strategy is we accept a 1% loss or a 2% gain once you followed the strategy. Because I'm trying to keep things as mechanical as possible, but I also do accept the fact that everybody's different, the way they think, the way they trade, and it's got to be your choice at the end of the day. It'd be wrong of me to, well, I don't instruct anybody. This is just for educational purposes, following the mechanical lines of the strategy. Everything I do after that is my own personal choice. And indeed, if I haven't got any on automatic and, I don't know what, something happens at home, um, the car catches fire, for example, outside, and I've got to leave, and I was in this situation now, I would close the trade, maybe, or leave it running, just accept the 1% loss, because at the moment I feel the stop loss is in a good place because it's above the purple line. Because price look here respects the purple line, bounces, and yes, it did break it, but as far as mechanically the strategy goes, stop loss is there. Wonder. No. Sorry, I'm looking around here. Didn't mean to do that. Let's move that. There we go. I meant to move this. How do I move this? Oh, that's better. Sorry, I'm messing around too much. Um, but let's go back on the 5-minute time frame again. I'll move the indicators. And here it is the buy zone. Looking for price to possibly get into the buy zone, but we have, like I said, we've created imbalance here. So it wouldn't be too possible to believe that price would want to come up to mitigate that imbalance. So if you had put your stop loss to your entry, which is there, you would have broke even, and then you would maybe a scenario is maybe price would come to there to check out that imbalance and then come back down again. In which case you broke even, and so accepting the 1% loss is the but also I'd be thinking about if price gets to here in our break even, in actual, well, I know when it's going to break even. So go back to the minute again, extend this along. And put our indicators back on. Another thing I've done in the past is, because we've got the parallels are there now, on the break even, now I feel that I could do that because there is a greater chance of price, once it breaks the parallel SAR, to drag that back down, a greater chance of volume coming in for the buy could be there. So that is a legitimate move as well. Because if price goes and breaks the parallel SAR to move price down below, the parallels are below the price, that could indicate a lot more of a buying volume. So therefore, there's much a greater chance of price actually continuing up and going higher again. So that is a good reason to put my stop loss to my entry. So I've broken even on this trade. Obviously, I want it to carry on down. But now I've got a risk-free trade. So my mindset, I'm always zen about things anyway, but I'm even more zen now because I ain't going to lose any money. Maybe a bit of commission, which is nothing really. And now volume's gone right out of the market. Look at the size of these candles. Look. So indeed, that could be considered powers that be are thinking about things. Is the dollar getting weaker or stronger at this point? And they could be waiting for a confirmation of what the dollar or the euro is doing and reacting of it. So you could see a break up or a breakdown. Obviously, we're hoping there's going to be a breakdown, but if there's a break up, it could go a lot higher. And in which case, I would have broke even. So interesting. It could go either way. Obviously, I hope for a bit more of a sell to get my 2%, but Bryce doesn't care about that. Doesn't care whether you need this trade to pay your mortgage or whatever. He'll do what it's going wants to do, reacting off the strength of the euro or the dollar. If some big American whale comes in and feels that the dollar is going to get stronger, that'll give us our 2% because if the dollar gets stronger, the euro will get weaker and get our 2%. But if they feel the opposite, now see, look, now we could be breaking even. because then it'll break free from the trend line. I hope we don't break even because I like to see a little bit of money, but at the end of the day, breaking even is good. Didn't lose anything. So we're coming to the end of my live. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put everything on mute. Oh, there we go. Somebody obviously thought that the dollar's getting stronger or the euro's getting weaker, so they've reacted. But notice how it stopped on this line here. So this obviously is an important area at the moment because it stopped there, look, and now it's hovering around there. Whether it breaks that remains to be seen. I hope it does. Just a little bit more to give us our 2%, and that'll be good. But also at the same time, could break even. Let's just see what it does. Will it want to tap into this? It will do eventually. Because now we're into more consolidation. And at 9 o'clock, sometimes things happen one way or the other. And I'm coming up to the end of my transmission. So I'm going to leave it. I'm going to mute myself and leave it all just play out for you guys, for you to watch if you want to. And whatever happens, have a great day. And we will see you again tomorrow. And tomorrow, incidentally, I'm on a later time at 10 o'clock because we got red news. Nikki saying thanks, you're welcome. Just going to have a look on the YouTube channel, see if there's anything in chat. No. It's okay. Right, so I'm going to leave you guys here and go on mute and I'll play it out. So I'm either break even or 2%, whatever the case may be. So see you guys at 10 o'clock UK tomorrow. Cheers for now. Bye. Yeah, I'm still on. As you can see, a successful trade. So there we go. A nice successful trade. So thanks very much. See you guys tomorrow. Bye for now.